Hi, this is Ishani again from Nimula Organics, and we wanted to talk a little bit today about how to water your plants so that they grow well. These are just some general points about watering plants. Every plant is different based on your sun and light conditions. It'll be different for you too. But here's some general pointers that'll get you started. First off is the time of day to water. So best to do it in the earlier morning or the later afternoon, early evening. This means that the sun won't be evaporating most of the water you're putting on there. So that's a good point. And also how frequently you water. So it's better to water plants nicely every once in a while rather than a little bit, keeping the soil wet every day. So this means you want to make sure that when you put your finger in, the first inch or so should be a little dry, and that means that your plant is ready to get some more water. So you test it, make sure that it's ready for some water, and then you go ahead and water it. You want to make sure you're watering slowly and gently, not really overwhelming it. And when you're watering, make sure that the leaves are staying dry. Wet leaves are much more susceptible to fungal infections and other problems with the leaves, so make sure those are kind of out of the spray of the water you're using. Then you also want to make sure that you are using a soil that's draining well. So that means there's no stagnation on the top. If you're watering and the water's not sinking in, that also means that the water's probably not getting to the roots well enough. When you start to see some water coming out of the bottom of the pot, maybe into the tray that you're using underneath your planter box, that means the water's reached all the way to the bottom. And we want to make sure that the roots at the bottom get really soaked, because those are where the most of the roots are for the plant. So when the water gets all the way down there, stop watering. If you find that water is stagnating inside of the tray that you're using for your plant, that means you're probably watering too much, and that's going to be a problem for your plant too. It won't grow well in too wet of soil. The reason we're doing this cycle of letting the soil dry a little bit and then letting it get really wet is the roots have a lot more space to grow in the soil when it's a little bit dry. Those little air pockets give it some room to spread out. So make sure you're letting it have that chance to let the roots spread out and then nourishing those roots with a lot of the water that it's wanting. So this is just some brief tips, and we'd love to hear any of your questions or any of your thoughts about best ways you found to water in your garden. And we'd also like to invite you to visit our website at www.nimulaorganics.com for some more info about plants and growing your beautiful garden on your own. Thanks.